think Kindrick should take pride in taking a higher moral ground, given the nature of the historical, outcomes of a lot of these rap battles. I think Kendrick Lamar should take pride in doing, taking a higher moral ground. It's worldly nonetheless, but, he should take pride in what he's saying in his raps.
You're now tuned into Gutta and Saved.
Considered the greatest spitting. I tell them I'm Christ like they envision modern Christian. Tell them I'm nothing like check conditions of how I'm living. I preach Christ, we ain't fake delivering. Listen, Candyman, soon as they. It's not about how much Bible chapter and verse you know. It's about how much Bible you willing to obey.
What's beef? What's the true moral way to go about a rap battle? Morally, what's too low, or morally, what's too high in regards to a rap battle or beef? We're all by now acquainted and locked into this whole Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. It's without a shadow of doubt that, Drake and Kendrick Lamar are both doing their thing. They both dope MCs. Now, there are so many takes and angles on social media, that I'm noticing going on amongst a bunch of content creators. A lot of people siding with Drake, a lot of people siding with Kendrick Lamar, and I get it, I get it. That's just how rap battles go, But there's one particular take that I saw by, a content creator whom, I follow. His name is Ruslan. Shout out to Ruslan, man. You do your thing over there. But I feel like his take was, so Ruslan, I'm going to do a reaction to your take.
Kendrick Lamar, Drake, going back and forth at it. Kendrick, on the other hand, positions himself in this diss track for the first 2 minutes as if he is the moral superior to Drake.
So what is he saying? He's like, oh,
you're a bad person, you're a bad guy, you're bad guy. I'm a better human than you.
Okay.
Now, this is going to be blasphemy because people think Kendrick is this super deep spiritual person. Obviously, Good Kid, Mad City opened with his Christian prayer, him saying the sinner's prayer. I think Kendrick has drifted very, 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 very far from whatever faith he proclaimed in Good Kid, Mad City and whatever faith he proclaims to me privately. I think he's drifted way off of that. There's been the Hebrew Israelite stuff that we saw. I think both of these guys are scumbags.
Now, although I understand your take, Ruslan, I get it. Trust me, I get it. But your take is not hip-hop. Now, let me explain. Hip-hop battles has always been about ego and, who's more street or hood or gangster than the next, than their opponent. That's the origin of hip-hop. Hip-hop battles has always been cutthroat. See, here's the thing. Hip-hop has a historical context where artists try to outdo each other by hitting below the belt, going the lowest morally and all that stuff. We can even think about battles like, Who Shot You by Biggie. Hit 'Em Up by Tupac, Ether by Nas, Super Ugly by Jay-Z, and so many others. They exemplify, the trend of hitting low when it comes to hip hop. Throughout history, hip hop has consistently delved into the realm of low moral blows when it came to hip hop battles, to the point of consequently we see the demise of, Tupac and Biggie, and so many other rappers who engaged in hip hop battles that went left field. Now, the reason why I like Kendrick's angle of taking a high moral ground, let me preface this first. We don't know Kendrick Lamar personally. I don't know Kendrick Lamar personally. I want to start by saying that I'm not going to critique his lifestyle or his religious views. This is just a hip hop, battle. I'm not going to get too far into his life and what he do. That's none of my business. However, him taking a high moral ground over Drake, to me, is dope. Mainly because it's actually showing lyricism and skill, that he possessed, without being excessively violent and all that stuff, bragging about all the money he got and, and participating in drug use and ratchet culture and all that stuff. Now, here's the crazy thing. Kendrick is taking the high moral ground in some areas, but in other areas, he's taking some real low blows, at Drake at the same time, which to me is dope. But here's the thing. On the flip side, I also like Drake's angle as well. I don't think the focus should be on their angles in the moral higher ground or the lower moral ground. I don't think our focus should be on that. The focus should be on the lyricism and the context of the validity of the stuff that they saying about each other. And, their flows and the beats and all that stuff. A lot of things should come into place, but the morality of, where they're going shouldn't be, the angle. I'm entertained by Kendrick's angle, and I'm entertained by Drake's angle. I believe they're both, showing, lyricism and, the flow, the cadence, and all that stuff. I believe that they both are doing a good job in this battle. At the end of the day, Ruslan, we are believers in Christ, so of course our moral ground is going to be rooted in that of Christ. Kendrick Lamar and Drake's moral ground is that of the world. So the fact that Kendrick Lamar is taking pride in being a husband, a father, not having multiple baby moms out here, not promoting drug and ratchet culture and violence and all that stuff like a lot of these other rappers, I think Kendrick should take pride in taking a higher moral ground, given the nature of the historical, outcomes of a lot of these rap battles. I think Kendrick Lamar should take pride in doing, taking a higher moral ground. It's worldly nonetheless, but, he should take pride in what he's saying in his raps about Drake. That's just my honest opinion and my observation of this whole thing. Now, like I said, Drake is doing a good job as well, in his comeback to Kendrick Lamar. They both doing a good job, man. And I don't think we should worry about who's taking a higher moral ground or not. Hey man, I thank y'all for rocking out with me. This is your boy Reese Johnson. This is the Gutta And Saved podcast, man. Do something for the podcast today. Go to our merch store. You like this hoodie? Vintage Saint Heavily Minded hoodie? Go to our merch store. It's available right now with all our hoodies. If you buy one hoodie, you get a t-shirt free. Yes, who don't like free? Yes, you get a free Vintage Saint t-shirt or Saint Depot t-shirt with every purchase of any hoodie or sweatshirt in our merch store. Go to gasmerch.com and cop up, and I'll holler at y'all on the flip. Peace.
Gasmerch.com. Vintage Saint Collection. Gutta and Saved Abstract Collection. Shop now at gasmerch.com.
Considered the greatest spitting. I tell them I'm Christ-like. They envision modern Christian. Tell them I'm nothing like. Check conditions of how I'm living. I preach Christ. We ain't fake delivering. Listen. Candyman, soon as they. It's not about how much Bible chapter and verse you know. It's about how much Bible you willing to obey.